All right, some of the big news over the weekend, not only politically speaking, but heading into the weekend, was Trump's criticism of Nordstrom. And it raised some conflict concerns. And I want to bring on Krista Castaneda. She's a communications expert. She's always talking to me about this sort of stuff. Krista, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so when you saw, well, let's go back a little bit. Let's go to KellyAnne Conway, first of all, top advisor to Trump. She was counseled, apparently, after promoting Ivanka Trump's clothing and accessory line during a Fox News interview from the White House. This was last Thursday morning. So her statements prompted calls for an investigation into whether or not her statements broke government ethics rules. In that interview, she said, "Go buy Ivanka's stuff," is what I would tell you. It's a wonderful line. I own some of it. I'm going to give a free commercial here. Go buy it today, everybody. You could find it online. Did that make you cringe?
Yes, because those who know really thought it was a clear breach of not only the ethics rules, but also the laws against using the White House for personal gain and using the government for personal gain.
So let's flip over to Trump criticizing Nordstrom when it decided to drop Ivanka's clothing line. Now, Nordstrom's saying it's because of declining sales. I guess that could be debatable. I think that most people, including myself, think it's kind of political retribution. But either way, the President of the United States commenting on the treatment of his daughter. Your thoughts there?
Well, I think the President needs to keep it in mind more frequently that he's no longer a private person. If he was acting as a dad, and I think his tweet originally showed up on his personal feed, and then it also showed up on the White House feed. I think it was more in the lines of, I'm looking out for my daughter, but you can't do that anymore when you're President of the United States, at least not in that public way.
I agree 100% with you. And there's people who will argue with me that say, hey, look, above and beyond everything else, you're a father first. That's simply a man sticking up for his daughter. What do you say to those people?
Well, we're all parents. Lots of us are parents. There are things that we know we can do to help our kids, and there's things that we know we can't do to help our kids, such as go beat up the 7th grade bully ourselves who is harassing our sons.
Right. No, that's true, and that's a very good point. I'm talking to Krista Castaneda right now, communications expert. Krista, here's the thing, and here's my problem with this. Whenever Trump calls somebody out, we've seen what positive PR can do for a company, what negative PR can do for a company. And these companies know, we talked about this during the campaign, how much free advertising he got, because whatever he tweets, whatever he says is front page for a couple of days. He knows that too. So if he is talking about Ivanka's clothing line, if he is pushing that, if KellyAnne Conway is pushing that, that is an unfair advantage. If I'm a competitor with Ivanka, I'm furious because guess what? She just got millions of dollars of free advertising. She's basically getting an endorsement from the White House, correct?
Yes, and that's exactly why they have the ethics rules and the laws in place to prevent exactly this. That's the complicating factor when you have a businessman who still has business interests take the White House.
So when we take a look at Trump here, is his battle with Nordstrom fair game in your mind?
No. I mean, he may have a personal beef with Nordstrom. He cannot use his office to bring attention to his daughter's personal commercial disputes with Nordstrom.
All right, and the other aspect here is something that people have been talking about for a long time regarding Trump, and that's social media. Does he need to draw a line when it comes to how he uses the power of social media? And if so, where is that line?
Yes, the answer is yes. The devil's in the details. He wants to get out there and connect with his constituents, connect with all of us on the issues that he believes got him elected to office. That's one thing. Using it for anything that touches on, a personal beef, that's a completely different thing, and I think that's where he keeps falling into trouble.
When you take a look at his presidency, it's raised concerns from the beginning about ethical conflicts. I mean, his plan to separate himself from his real estate business has been criticized by ethics experts who say it doesn't do enough to make sure that Trump won't make decisions to personally benefit himself, his family, or his company. The First Lady has yet to step away from her companies that manage her royalties from her namesake products, business documents, what have you. This is really new ground for us, is it not, to have a president that's so involved business-wise? I mean, is this new territory for everybody?
Well, certainly in the modern age it is. We haven't seen this for many presidencies. If you go back further, before the Internet age, before the age of instant news, instant media, You might have had some presidents who still had some business interests, but weren't capable of capitalizing on it or being to capitalize on it quite the same way. So yes, this is new for the modern age.
Talking to a communications expert, Krista Castagnata, right now. Krista, you're a communications expert. When you see Trump tweeting, his argument is, look, I can bypass the mainstream media, which is biased, which doesn't help me at all, and I can get my word out. Correct me if I'm wrong, in the beginning you weren't a fan of him doing this. Is it changing over time, or do you still think it's a mistake for him to take to Twitter?
Well, I think my view on it is a little bit more subtle than good or bad. I think he can use it appropriately for appropriate things. And he needs to think about what those things are in advance. That's really the nub of it, is he's not a real advanced planner. When he feels like he wants to say something, he says it. That's where he's fallen in the ditch.
All right, last thing I got for you before I let you go, since you are a female. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. So any advice for the guys out there as far as what they should buy their significant other? Would you go with a gift, dinner, preparing a special dinner at home, or the movies? Which one?
I'm sorry, Balloon Daddy, I lost you for a second. Say that again.
Okay.
Do we have time to say it again?
Oh, yeah. Since you're an expert being a female, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. What kind of advice would you give the guys out there listening right now as far as buying something for their significant other for Valentine's Day? If you had the choice of a gift, going to dinner, having your significant other prepare a special dinner at home, or going to the movies, what would you take?
Preparing dinner at home. That would be a rare experience.
Okay, that over jewelry?
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, as a woman of a certain age, and we've discussed this before, I've acquired some jewelry. Special experiences are the thing now.
All right, makes sense. Krista, I always enjoy your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, there you go. There you have it. Make some dinner at home. Save yourself some money, man. That's the key.